The Children of Morta. It's an action role-playing game with roguelite elements where you follow the Bergson family that is battling the evil corruption on Mount Morta. The game is available on both Xbox One and PC and is on Game Pass on both platforms. It came out last year but has just recently been included on Xbox Game Pass.
And his mother was far.
The story follows the Bergson family in their mansion. They act as the custodians of Mount Morta, and they're trying to stop this gradual spread of corruption coming from this mountain. In their basement, they have these gateways, and then from there they travel to these different locations, completing various missions in efforts to stop this. The attention to the overall story, and especially the characters, differences in their personality, is very well done. It's a game published by 11-Bit Studios. You might know them from This War of Mine, where there is that unique care to each of the characters. So you don't have the cliches with this, and if you're interested in this story, you're going to have a lot of enjoyment in playing this game. On top of that, there's also a codex and journal. So if you're interested in lore digging, there's quite a bit here explaining things like game mechanics, but then also the characters themselves, what they're about, and then past journals from other family members, being a kind of a multi-generational type of a thing where they live in this mansion and they've always been taking care to stop the spread of any corruption over the years. It's a procedurally generated dungeon crawler, 1 to 2 players. And that is basically it. The twist compared to other games like Binding of Isaac, Crypt of the Necrodancer, is you are leveling up your character, but not in a way where they just get stronger. It's in a way where you gain abilities. You can see in the bottom left there, I have 3 abilities below my health bar, and they are each have a cooldown. I have to unlock these. That's one aspect. And then you also have things that just affect how your character attacks, like maybe with John here, his shield, and that hurting other enemies, that's one thing I can gain. The levels themselves, they're procedurally generated, meaning that where you're going, you don't know what you're going to pop into. It could be a side mission, it could be just a story mission, it could be a dead end, things like that. The progression, how it works, your character levels up through experience. Once they gain experience, then you have a tech tree and you can unlock abilities. The twist here also, along with upgrading that character, once they get upgraded to a certain point, they can help other characters where they'll pop in if certain conditions are met. Then they will help that character. And this snowballs eventually as you play each. So you want to be playing all of the characters, and then eventually everyone gets stronger. There's a lot of pickups, and it is a bit confusing. So it's good to check out the codex. Basically how this works is the runes affect your abilities, the charms you can collect, and then you have divine relics that are abilities you pick up that have a cooldown. You can pick up to 2 of these as you get later into the game. So not too bad. You can't do it the wrong way anyway. Last part to the levels, you have obelisks that you activate that give you things like defense or extra experience, and then there's gates that are shut, and then you are opening those. That is pretty much it though for the gameplay that you will be encountering. The character that you pick, there's differences here. It's more varied though if you're playing multiplayer, because then you can mix it up. You can have one that's ranged. You can pick the type of range. There's 2 different type of range units. Melee, same kind of deal. You want someone fast, or do you want someone that's more of a bruiser, that kind of thing. But as you play each of these, you will be unlocking other items that you can then upgrade throughout the game. So there's things beyond even the characters themselves that help each other. There's also separate elements that you can upgrade that will help everyone as well. It's up to 2 players, local only. There is no online, and this is for both platforms, whether you're playing on PC, Xbox One, or any other platform. The thing with this too is you're upgrading your characters as you're playing them, so playing with two can be kind of handy to avoid the grind of just having to play each character if you're playing by yourself.
When all was thought.
Best part is the story, whether it is in-game or after you're completing a mission. There are quite a few cutscenes, and you're treated to these all the time. Like before, whether you win or lose, if you win, there's a separate type of cutscene, and they're all given great care. The other big pro is the multiplayer. If you play this with two people, it's quite a bit different, because then you can use the diversity of the characters more. Gameplay is pretty meh. There's much better dungeon crawlers out there, really. And if you play it with two people, it's different, because then there's a little bit more strategy, but there's not that much variety in characters, and it relies on what you basically keep moving with whatever character that you're playing. But the repetition, it gets grindy really pretty quick. So I recommend playing on normal. I don't recommend getting the game if you're playing by yourself. Exception would be is if you're mostly or only into the story portion of it. Then it can be worth playing on normal and grinding through it as much as you want, kind of thing. Problem though is there just isn't much variety in the dungeon layout, even though it is randomized, and the enemies that you fight. It's mainly trash mobs kind of going after you, so it boils down to you have to keep moving. Even characters that aren't made that way, kind of like with Lucy, the fire character, you still have to play the same way, and it gets old pretty quick that you just keep moving around. You have to just get the character stronger. However, if you are playing it with someone else, then it can be worth playing this game on hard difficulty, because then you can utilize their strengths more. You have that other character. While the grinding takes half the time, because you're upgrading two characters at all times. If you like this video, please give a like, subscribe if you really liked it, and if you are interested in getting the game on either PC or Xbox One, please check out the links below for Xbox Game Pass, as it is currently on both, and I will see you next time.
Corruption, the jewel of life to be restored, the realm of